2 straight days. And I had to run them through a sieve and do all that stuff, or fine mesh strainer. Let me turn around so y'all can see the babies. So I'm canning that now. I canned 5 quarts of beef barley soup. We have company, don't we? We certainly.
Ходи, малий, ходи, ходи, ходи. Ходи, малий. Молодчинка мій.
Their greed sickens me.
I'm evil, kitty, said evil kitty.
What are you doing?
Lexi, did you get into the garbage? I think you might have gotten into the garbage while we were gone.
Help is on the way, dear!
Mrs. Doubtfire!
Help is on the way!
Skedaddle!
Certainly, this is 8-year-old me trying to sing in the room.
Trying to relax, but the air gremlin strikes again.
Брали попугая уточку, так? broke. Well, yep. Oh!
If they suddenly go quiet, it's just the calm before the storm.
What the?
You okay, hon?
Excuse me.
They always said you should think twice. I don't even think once.
Just casually burying his brother. No big deal. Never tell any secrets to this big-mouthed guy.
Trying to stay.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. At the end of the day, I will...
Someone seems pretty convinced that they're doing nothing wrong and have zero plans to quit.
Hello. Hello. You okay? You okay?
No.
My largest client is now in a bulk phase. Let's begin.
Only a husky can turn tea time into a full conversation. Looks like Buddy is way better at catching the beat than catching mice.
Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, MIT and the Gentle Footsteps Around the House. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. MIT had a way of entering a room without announcing himself. No dramatic barking, No hurried scrapes of claws against the tiles. Just a soft presence, like a thought arriving quietly while you were still half asleep. Every morning, before the alarm rang, MIT's gentle footsteps moved across the floor, light and careful, as if he knew the house itself was still dreaming. I often woke up not because of sound, but because of a feeling, a warmth near my feet, a slow, patient breath. When I opened my eyes, MIT would already be there, sitting politely beside the bed, tail resting still on the floor. His ears twitched when he noticed I was awake, and his eyes softened into that familiar expression, part curiosity, part devotion, and part quiet joy. MIT never jumped on the bed. He could have. He was allowed to. But he chose not to. Instead, he waited. His steps across the room were so gentle that even the old wooden floorboards barely sighed under his weight. It was as if MIT understood that mornings were fragile moments, meant to be handled with care. When I finally stood up, MIT followed me at a respectful distance. In the kitchen, he sat near the doorway while I prepared breakfast. No begging, no impatient pacing, just quiet company. Occasionally, he shifted his paws slightly, each movement controlled, as though he didn't want to disturb the rhythm of the morning. Outside, the world could be noisy and demanding, but inside the house, MIT moved like a reminder to slow down. His gentle footsteps were not just physical, they carried a kind of emotional softness. They said, "You don't have to rush. I'm here." Sometimes, while drinking my coffee, I watched him carefully navigate around furniture, choosing the longer path instead of squeezing through tight spaces. He avoided bumping into chairs, avoided knocking things over. It felt intentional, almost thoughtful, as if MIT believed that living together meant being mindful of shared space. Those mornings taught me something simple, yet powerful. Gentleness can be a choice. Even in the most ordinary moments, MIT showed me that care begins with awareness, of space, of timing, and of others. Afternoons in the house were slower. Sunlight spilled across the floor, warming patches of wood and tile. MIT loved these hours. He would walk toward the light carefully, testing each step as if the sun itself deserved respect. Then he would lie down, curling his body just enough to fit perfectly into the bright square on the floor. When I worked at my desk, MIT became my silent shadow. He never interrupted. He never demanded attention while my fingers danced across the keyboard. Instead, his gentle footsteps moved from room to room, checking on me occasionally, then settling nearby. Sometimes he lay behind my chair. Other times, he rested by the door, guarding the quiet. There were moments when I stood up suddenly, lost in thought, and nearly bumped into him. MIT always reacted faster than I did, stepping aside softly, avoiding contact. He never startled me. His movements were calm, almost considerate, like he understood that my mind was elsewhere. In those afternoons, we communicated without words. A glance from him meant, "I'm here." A small sigh from me meant, "I know." His presence didn't fill the room loudly. It blended into it, becoming part of the house itself. Visitors often commented on this. "Your dog is so quiet," they said. "He walks like he doesn't want to disturb anyone." They were right. MIT didn't just live in the house. He respected it. He respected the rhythm of our days, the pauses between tasks, the silence between thoughts. Once, a cup fell from the table and shattered. The sound was sharp and sudden. MIT froze. He didn't bark or run. Instead, he slowly stepped closer, careful to avoid the broken pieces, and looked up at me with concern rather than fear. His footsteps were still gentle, even in chaos. That moment stayed with me. In a world that often reacts loudly to stress, MIT responded with caution and empathy. He reminded me that calmness is not weakness, it's awareness. Evenings were MIT's favorite time. The house grew quiet again, wrapped in soft lights and familiar shadows. As I moved around, cleaning up or preparing dinner, MIT followed, not closely, not distantly, but just enough to be connected. His footsteps in the evening felt different. Slower, heavier with contentment, yet still gentle. When I sat on the couch, he approached carefully, circling once before settling beside me. Sometimes his head rested against my leg. Sometimes he simply lay near, breathing steadily, sharing the same silence. There was something deeply comforting about those moments. After a long day, filled with noise and responsibilities, MIT's quiet presence reminded me that I didn't have to perform anymore. I could just exist. Before bedtime, MIT made one last round through the house. A soft walk from room to room, checking corners, sniffing lightly, as if ensuring everything was in its place. Only then did he return to his spot and curl up for the night. Watching him, I realized that MIT's gentle footsteps were more than a habit. They were an expression of love. Love that didn't shout. Love that didn't demand. Love that simply stayed. In the stillness of the night, as the lights went out, I understood something clearly. Home isn't defined by walls or furniture. It's defined by the quiet care shared between those who live inside it. MIT's gentle footsteps around the house reflect a lesson that feels especially important in today's fast-paced world. We often move quickly, speak loudly, and react without thinking. MIT teaches us a different way of living, one rooted in awareness, patience, and respect. From him, we learn that sharing space means being mindful of others, whether they walk on 2 legs or 4. His calm movements remind us that kindness doesn't need grand gestures. Sometimes, it's as simple as lowering our voice, slowing our steps, or noticing how our actions affect those around us. In modern life, where stress and noise are constant, animals like MIT show us how to bring peace back into our daily routines. By observing their quiet loyalty and gentle presence, we can learn to listen more, react less, and value moments of stillness. To apply this lesson today, try creating small pockets of calm in your life. Move with intention. Treat your home, and everyone in it, with care. Pay attention to the silent needs of those who share your space, including animals who communicate through actions rather than words. When humans and animals learn from each other, relationships deepen. Like MIT, we can choose gentleness, and in doing so, create a kinder, more compassionate world together.